Hello everybody, again this is test route number 7 and we're in Hinckley at the moment, and we're just outside the Hinckley Test Centre in the car park here. There's a little row of shops. The Hinckley Test Centre is in a kind of room above the shops, and we're just coming out of the car park for the shops. We're going to turn right onto Brookside. Just as we get to here, we're just going to be waiting for a few seconds while the road clears. And there we are. So we're out on now test route number 7. There are 12 test routes, as I say at the start of all of these videos. There are 12 test routes for Hinckley. This is number 7, and you'll see the other 11 test routes. If you subscribe, you'll get straight through to the YouTube channel, and look for the playlist for Hinckley, and you'll find all of the test routes on there. So we're on Brookside and we're turning right here now at the traffic lights, and we're going to turn right, and that will take us into Rugby Road. So this is Rugby Road. They recently built a new roundabout here. I say recently, it's a few years now, but it doesn't look much like one, but it is one. So look to your right, make sure that everything is clear for you to carry on. We're going to stay in the left lane. We're going to drive past the Handsome Cab pub, which I'm told is very nice in there. I've never been in it myself. I'm told it's very nice in there. As we come down to under the bridge, we're going to then come to some traffic lights, and at those traffic lights we're going to turn left. You can see this whole test route listed out if you look in the description below the video. It's all listed out there, so you can follow it around, and actually all of the test routes have that. So if you look in the description boxes, you'll see all of the test routes listed out there. As we're coming up to the traffic lights then, excuse me, as we're coming up to the traffic lights, we're turning left. That takes us from Rugby Road into Westfield Road. Along Westfield Road we'll find there's some speed bumps, those kind of short ones. Just try and get the middle of the car up there so that it's not too damaging to the car. And then we get to the roundabout, the mini roundabout. We're going to turn right at that mini roundabout. Right, the mini roundabout. It's a Thursday morning. It's bin day on Thursdays apparently. This is Northfield Road we've turned into now. Just go round the bin men. Don't know about you, but I think that bin men are probably the hardest working, perhaps the fittest workers in the whole country. They must have to walk miles and miles and miles every day, I think. That's just my opinion. Yeah. So we should, we should be kind to them. Anyway, we're coming along here. This is Northfield Road, and we're just going to come to the end of Northfield Road in a few seconds over this next speed bump. First of all, end of Northfield Road, we're going to turn left. This brings us out onto Coventry Road now, where it's fairly busy, but it's also, the traffic's quite gappy, so very often you can get out pretty quickly, particularly if you're turning left. And then we're going to take the first road on the right, and you'll see where the kind of mock Tudor house is. It's there, so that's where we're going to turn right. And they've left like a little designated right turn lane in their safety lane, I suppose you could call it. And that's going to take us, we'll just have to wait for a few seconds. There you go. We're going to turn it into Brookdale. So this is Brookdale. Those lanes in the centre of the road that they've left for people turning right, try and get your whole car in there. try and get yourself square in so your whole car is in. And what that does is it allows other people on the road to carry on along their journey, and you won't be in their way whilst you're waiting to turn right. So this is Brookdale. Is it still Brookdale? It may have changed. The road name may have changed. You'll see all the roads listed out on like subtitles at the bottom of the screen. There might be one on there right now as we're speaking. Just got to get around these parked cars. I'm just going to take it a little cautious, just because it's a blind bend. There's someone reversing and wanting to pull out, so I'm just going to give them a bit of room to do that. Okay, you're very welcome, sir. That's fine, don't worry. And I'm sure at this point along here, this is now Trent Road, maybe. One of those anyway. But we're going to come to the end of it, and at the end of the road here there's going to be a roundabout. At this roundabout we're going to turn right. It's actually Langdale Road that we're on now, so we're turning right here, around the roundabout, into Brodick Road, past the park. There's a park on one side, and it looks like there's a park on both sides actually. There you go, very nice. On Brodick Road, people park their cars in strange places. Just going to ease off, let this van. This van's in the middle of the road, so I'm just going to let him decide what he wants to do. Let him turn if he wants to. There you go, you're very welcome. He's all over the place. He's having a laugh with his mate there. His mate's having a sandwich. Alright, so anyway, we're gonna, when we get to the end of this road, Brodick Road, we're going to turn left. So this left turn takes us into Roston Drive. We're just carrying on along here, Roston Drive. It's quite bendy, so the road bends round to the right here. Important then to keep the car well into the left as the road bends around to the right, making sure you stay in your position. We're going to turn right at the roundabout. So we're going to move into the lane. We're turning right. Move forward. This is the third exit. This one we're coming up to is the second. So I'm going to check the mirrors, change the indicator, check the mirror again, and then move off. So that's the left door mirror. That's second checking that left door mirror. It's very, very important. You'll be looking for things coming up the inside of the car. You know, so, and you don't want to block them off, but you need to know that they're there. The road we've turned onto now is called Normandy Way. Most people will know it as the bypass, and it's a 50-mile-an-hour zone, 50. So it's clear in front of us, and that means we must get up to somewhere around 50, not above it, but just around it. I'm dead on 50 at the moment. Just got to show that we're confident and that we can get up to this speed with ease. It's not a big problem for us. But when we get to the roundabout up here, we are going to be, we are going to be turning right. Obviously, I'm slowing the car right down, getting into second gear. It looks clear to the right there. So again, it's the third exit. So again, as we come round to this, the second one, I'm going to check the mirrors, signal for left, check the left mirror again, very, very important, and then making sure there's nobody coming at the inside, and then come off. And this is Wykin Road, over the speed bump. So you'll have been doing 50 on the Normandy Way, and now this is back down to 30, and it's giving you advice there, the sign's giving you advice to say, well, you know, during school times, drop off and pick up times, school run times really, best to do 20. And but that's just a big piece of advice, that is, on the signs. So just take it nice and steady along here on Wykin Road. Now the thing about Wykin Road is that there's a give way sign of you know, a long way along it, and it's just outside this school that we're coming up to now. And you'll see that we have to give way. We don't have priority. We have to give way to oncoming vehicles. But today, at this time, there's nobody there, so we can just go straight through. As we come past it, there's another sign that says that they have to give way to us. But again, there's nobody there, so it's all fine today. So we've got over the speed bump here. When we get to the end of the road, we're going to turn left. Now there's a lorry that's parked very close to the junction, so I'm not going to indicate for left until I've moved out to make it clear I'm going past the lorry. And then when that is clear, then I'm going to indicate for left. This is a mini roundabout. Just going to move out now. We've moved into Stoke Road now. It looks like this shop on the left is having some quite a few deliveries today then. We'll go past this next lorry and we're going to turn right and take the next road on the right. There we go, and I think we're going to need to wait this time. We'll let the Mini go through first. And then we'll turn into the right here. So we're turning from Stoke Road into Tudor Road. We'll just take ourselves along Tudor Road. And again, we've got these give way markers, these give way signs. It says give way 50 yards. And it's saying that we must give way to oncoming vehicles. Well, this time there is one. So we're just going to give way to him. We're going to let him go through first, and then we're going to make our progress. As we go through, this one's a bit longer, but it does, oh, there's a crossing here as well. Nobody on the crossing. This section's a bit longer than the one outside the school, but as we come up to here, you will see that it says that we now have priority over the oncoming traffic. And there is someone coming along, so we're just going to make sure, just going to keep an eye on him. He is slowing down. He does know he's got to give way. So there you go, we can now safely go through. He ended up being a she. I always get that wrong. Don't know why. If I'd have said she, then it would have been a bloke driving that car. There you go. That's how that works. We're going to turn right though when we get to the roundabout. Roundabout. It's not a roundabout, is it? It's a crossing. Oh dear. But don't listen to what I say. Do you know? There you go, he's letting us go around. So at the crossing, at the crossroads, we're going to turn right into Middlefield Lane. I think I need to get some more sleep, don't I? The crossroads going to turn right into Middlefield Lane. Again, Middlefield Lane's quite long. These kind of longish, straightish roads like this, don't be surprised if you're asked just to pull in and park and then do a kind of manoeuvre and exercise. You might have to do some parallel parking, or you might park on the wrong side of the road and then reverse back a bit and rejoin the traffic. Or it may be along this road where you have to do an emergency stop. So they're all useful for those things. But this is Middlefield Road. Tudor Road, they do the same thing as well. But we're going to turn left. Well, we're not going to turn left. We're going to go round to the left at this bend. I am getting everything wrong. I hope you stop confusing you. Yeah, it's just we're going to go round to the left here, and then we're going to turn left at the traffic lights. see, most people would have said to themselves, right, you know, I've said that was a crossroads and I called it a roundabout, I'm going to have to do the whole thing again. But I think you're clever enough to realise that, you know, I made a mistake and it was actually a crossroads. So but anyway, there you go. We've turned left at these traffic lights and we're on Ashby Road now. And we're on Ashby Road, we're kind of moving away from the town centre. So just to give you some context about where we're going, we're moving away from the town centre. This is quite a wide road. People do go above the speed limit down here. It is a 30 road. I'm bang on 30 now. And you can see the traffic ahead of us is actually moving away from us, which means they're all doing more than 30. But it is a downhill, a wide road. Do try and keep your speed within the speed limit. We are going to turn right now, take the next road on the right. And that's Barwell Lane we're turning into. So we're on Ashby Road, we're now turning into Barwell Lane. Barwell Lane, you'll know that's the one where Asda is basically. Asda's there on your right. Give you an idea. But we're not going into Asda today. We're going to turn right and take the next right. It could be on this route that you're asked to pull into Asda, do some parking in the bays in there. All those things are possible. We're turning right from Barwell Lane into Stoneygate Drive. We're taking ourselves along Stoneygate Drive. There's a little bit of a hill here. It could be here. You get to pull in and do a hill start. Don't be surprised on your test if you've been asked to pull in, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 times and then start off again. It can be that way. So this is just the kind of route that they go on. Again, the road bends round to the right, so keep the car well into the left. And at the end of the road here, at the end of this Stoneygate Road, we're going to turn right. Keep it steady. We can't go quite yet. There's a car just in the distance. If we pull out, we will make him slow down. So we're going to let him go by and then we're going to pull out then. We've now gone from Stoneygate Road onto Leicester Road. We're on Leicester Road here. We're now travelling kind of towards the town centre. Just got a cyclist. We can't overtake him yet because we can't see around the bend. There's a van coming now. Don't want to get too close to the cyclist. There's also a junction with someone there waiting to pull out. So I'm just going to let him get level with that, make sure that car doesn't pull out the junction. And there you go, now we've got a nice space. I'm going to give him a good wide berth and then I'm going to go round him like that. It's important for cyclists that you give them a good wide berth because, you know, they need to feel safe on the road. They're in quite a vulnerable position really, and it's good for you as well. It's actually now against the law to go too close to them, so always give them a good wide berth. Anyway, we're coming along here towards on Leicester Road towards the town centre. And as we come up to this next set of traffic lights, you would think that we'd be going left, but we're not. We're going to go straight ahead. It's just started to rain. There you go. Who would have thought it? In the weather we've been having as well. Straight ahead at the one set of lights, and then we're going to turn left at this next set. And this next set of traffic lights are going to take us to the left and past B and Q. So clean the window, just bear with me, there you go. It's going to be drips now. That's so annoying, isn't it, that when it drips down like that. Doing that again. There you go. Hopefully it won't drip anymore. So there we are. So we're going to turn left. You can see laminate floors in front of us. B&Q is on the left, and we're going to go around to the left of these lights. There's another one coming down. I'm just going to get rid of that one as well. Just going to wait patiently for the lights to change. Shouldn't take too long. Famous last words. When they do change, we are going to go round to, here we go, we are going to go round to the left here. We're now on a street called New Buildings. And if you look at the buildings here, there are no new buildings here. Now, I suppose they were new at one point, but it's a long time ago. There it is, it's still called New Buildings. As we come to the end of it, it's just a bend in the road these days, and it just bends round to the left here at this crossing, and it takes us into Castle Street. This is Castle Street. We're just going to go all the way to the end of this road here, past the school on the left. There it is. Just coming down to the end of the road here now. And again, we can see a sign, and it says give way 100 yards, and we're just coming up to it. We're going to be turning right at the end of Castle Street. Try and get the car square onto the give way lines here, because it will give you a better view to your left if you're square on. And it seems to be clear now, so we're coming out of there, we're turning into London Road. I'm going to follow this down. Earlier in the week, this road was absolutely chock-a-block. You couldn't get down it. People were stuck here for about an hour and a half, and it's all because of these roadworks here. Just at the top of Park Road. We're just going to wait. I'm just going to move into the left a little bit, because I'm aware that there's parked cars and vans on the right hand side, and if people want to get through, they might need a bit more room. Sometimes, you know, quite big lorries come up and down here, so I'm just going to giving people a bit more room to get through, and well, we'll see if it's actually needed or not. This looks like a three-way kind of temporary light, which always takes a little bit longer, doesn't it? So that's probably why there was such a big queue here earlier in the week. And if we look over the road or down the road, it looks like the opposite side of the road there's a big queue there now. So yeah, although not quite as long, not an hour long, I suppose. They're just coming through now. We should be next. Let's see. Very windy today. It looks like that sign's going to fall over at some point. They've got it weighed down with like a sandbag. So I wonder what they're doing. They might be putting pipes in. Might be. You always think that, don't you? You always say, oh, they're putting pipes in. They could be doing anything, couldn't they, really? Might be digging for gold, diamonds. Oil. So I'm just looking ahead really, and I'm looking to see where the traffic, see the traffic has stopped coming through now after this lorry, no more. So I think that means, yes, that means that we're going to be going next. There you go. This is where London Road, just around about here, London Road then becomes Burbage Road. I think it's on this bridge where that happens. Doesn't really matter, it is just Burbage Road now. And we're going to be turning right when we get to the traffic lights there. Just going on to green for us, which means that we can now wait in the centre. If these cars move on, they're not doing that, we're just going to go round. So that Seat there, it was a bit slow at getting forward, so that gave us an opportunity to go. Absolutely at liberty to do that, that's no problem at all. And we're back now on Brookside. So it's been a fairly standard route really, not too many difficult parts of it, not too many things to catch you out. If you get this route, I think you've perhaps been quite lucky. This is test route number 7 of 12. So we'll be going all the way along Brookside, and then we'll be turning right into the test centre. I call it the test centre car park, it's not, is it? It's just a car park where the shop, so it's not a test centre placed. It's just a car park, and the test centre shop just happens to be one of those. You do find this on Brookside here, where you'll see cars parked, kind of some parked right on the grass verges, and some just parked like this in front. And you may have to give way, and that's fine. We'll just sort that out. The idea is not to get too close to the actual parked car. Give yourself a bit of room to get out, and give yourself a good view so you can see past the car that's parked, or the van that's parked there. It won't be long now. We'll be driving back into the test centre, and that's where you'll get your results. You can see a row of shops on the right, and that's where the car park is. Now I can't indicate just yet because we need to get level with whatever that road's called, Broadbridge Road. To get level with that at least, and then we can indicate, and we can tell people that we're going into the car park and not into Bridge Road. I'm going to drop the car into first gear. Now you'll be asked just to pull up facing the green fence like this. So you just come in here in first gear, and there you go. That's when they say to you, thank you very much, Mr. or Miss X, you have now passed. Anyway, that was test route number 7. I shall see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.